Hey guys, how we doing today? So as you can see, that is the Big Short. And today we're going to be talking about some of the things that have been happening this week. Very intense kind of stuff. And let's go ahead and get this started right now. Okay. All right, guys. So it's been quite a week this week. And let's just talk about a couple things here. So first, the price is back above 50K, at least for the moment. That's pretty good. Stock to flow model, still looking extremely good. In fact, if we zoom in here, we're still very much above the average. And that might contribute a little bit to this dip that we're seeing right now. And we're going to go into some more details right now about what I personally think about this. I'm going to turn on my camera right now so you guys can see me here. There we go. And then, of course, we'll go to the giveaway in just a second here. But so far, everything looking relatively okay. Let's take a closer look at what happened this week just to see. There we go. All right, so now just explaining things a little bit in better detail here. Again, we had a couple tweets, we had a couple messages, we had a couple whatever. Nothing really happened. Elon Musk, I don't believe, doesn't care that much about Bitcoin or the space too much, other than his money from his books being in the coin at this point. It doesn't really matter. Like, they've placed their bets, so whatever they tweet is just kind of whatever. All this is pretty much a coordinated dump. In fact, let me see if I can go zoom in to like a 30-minute or something crazy like that. All right, so as you can see, this isn't like a massive drop. These are a lot of whales, once again, selling. These are not like you and me selling. Like, some of these smaller drops might be attributed to us, but I mean, the scale we're talking about is something like 10 grand. So to drop it that much, you need to have a lot of money. And these are calculated sales, as you can see right here at different times. And now they're kind of buying back up. And again, to me personally, this is all just a tactic to scare the newbies out of the market. That's all I'm seeing here right now, personally. Again, looking at stock to flow, everything just seems normal. This is our current phase right here that we're looking at. We're still above the stock to flow average. And again, if we zoom into some previous halvings, there are clear examples of where we lost something like 30 to 40% of our value before going back up. Let's see, what month is that? That is around July. So for example, let's look around the end of September, right? So it's 4,300. We go all the way down to 3,000, right? So we went from 5,000 basically to 3. That's almost like a 30 to 40% drop in that time. And we just did that, and after we did that, we basically went up to the blow off top. And there are these little waves here that you can see. For most of these, they kind of went sideways, and I remember them at the time. That's just kind of what happened. And it's just crazy, you know. Like here we have one that went from 1,200 down to 900 to 900. So that's, you know, what, like a 30% drop. We're just used to having these in the market. It's not a big deal. They happen all the time. We went from what? Recently, we went from something like, what, 40K down to 28 at the, 31 at the lowest. That was a pretty large drop, but we're still here. And fundamentally, we're still in a bull market. And they won't tell you this on the news, that we're just in a bull market. That's all it is, because they're used to the traditional finance market, which is shaky right now. It's very, very shaky in a lot of people's eyes. Whereas Bitcoin is just running its bull market. We've had our halving, now we're in our bull market phase. And that's what's going on here. To give you a little bit better perspective here, I wanted to find a site where I could get moving averages. I really need to get my own software one of these days, but so let's just add some averages here. So we have 50, 20, let's go 100, and 200. Okay. So we have these moving averages here, right? Let's go zoom into about 6 months, just so we can kind of see a little bit better. So we are barely, if you look at the yellow line here, which is the 20-day, we're barely retesting that right now at the current moment. And that is the most fickle line of all of them, the 20-day look. Even at the last one, we went below it, causing way more doubt than we have now. As you get to the more solid moving averages, like the 50-day, the 100-day, and the 200-day, Bitcoin will test those averages when there's a serious issue, or there's a lot of doubt, or even at the start of the actual bear market, for people doing more actual analysis. We aren't anywhere close to that, to these more long-standing averages. I believe it was the 200-day average is what a lot of people use to decide whether or not we are bullish or bearish. Officially, like it's like the last stop before, but I could be wrong on that. Do your own research. This isn't investment advice. None of this scares me. Not really. I'm prepared to go pretty low before I'm actually like, oh, that, you know. And again, I believe that we're solidly in profits, as I said in my last video. So kind of moving forward here, making sure everything's working properly. There we go. Oh, hey guys. I think I'm seeing some chats here. I'll get on my chat so I can see you guys. But yeah. Excuse me, I'm just typing. All right. So, yeah, if you guys happen to type something, I'll probably see it this time. Oh, thank you guys. But anyway, so basically, as we move on, what I wanted to talk about is what some of the other classes of Bitcoin went through. Bitcoin next target, I think that Bitcoin... Well, let's talk about this first, and then we'll get to where I think Bitcoin's going to go. So we have what are called classes of Bitcoin hodlers. So we have the original class, which was, the people who started with Satoshi Nakamoto and the developers all the way up to the first halving. These are people who were like libertarians and anarchists and digital punks and that sort of thing, maybe even hackers. They just thought it was an interesting idea. Little did they know that some of those people who were unsuspectingly would be billionaires now. Then we have the class of 2013, which is after the halving. I actually remember this halving. I was working in Beverly Hills at the time, and as a janitor, basically. And this was the first time it hit $1,000, I believe. It was either 2013 or maybe 2014. I forget when it hit. But that's when it hit, and it only had been being tracked in 2012, I believe. And you started to get your first altcoins. This is where Doge started, was around this time. Then you have the class of 2017. This is where I actually started buying with my actual hard-earned money. And this is where, around the time where a lot of large companies started infiltrating the Bitcoin space. This is where they started purchasing under the radar. We have companies like JP Morgan saying that it's, terrible, but they have some, things like that. Fidelity, same thing. You have Coinbase and a lot of the exchanges where better Mt. Gox had already happened. You have the beginnings of manipulation. You have futures contracts. You have ICOs and scams, initial coin offerings for those who don't know. And yeah, so you have larger parties starting to take a position on the coin around this time and getting more serious with it. And now we have the class of 21. Their legacy is still being built. Hey, Zachary, good to see you, man. Their legacy is still being built, and we don't know what's going to happen right now. I mean, I believe that Bitcoin's going to go up, and there's very little they can do to stop it. But there are some real areas for attack on the system, and who knows? We'll see what happens. China has most of the hash power, so who knows, right? But I believe there are ways around all of these things, and a lot of the core developers will try to get around it. There's a lot that the governments would have to do to shut down Bitcoin. I believe it's in the billions, if I remember correctly. Yeah, battle for the soul of our financial system. Stable coins are being developed right now, and in multiple countries, China, Russia, America, various parts of Europe, it's being developed right now as we speak. It's crazy. But yeah, essentially, the reason I bring this up in the first place is that by buying Bitcoin, you are shorting the dollar, and you are shorting a lot of the traditional financial system. aside from this newer wave of businesses that have been buying Bitcoin, a lot of them are late, as evidenced by this. So according to this chart, they only started really getting in the last halving, which means they're super late to the game. We're talking millions and millions and millions of Bitcoin they can never have. So the only way they can try to get more is to do antics like shorting the market and selling en masse and manipulating the price. And that's where we end up with this huge drop that we had this week, where you have these large coordinated drops that probably happen on many different exchanges, and for any number of reasons that could happen. It could be that an exchange wanted to cash out on leveraged positions of people that were betting on their exchange. It could be that they want some of their friends to get into the market, so hey, I'll sell my position to buy it back. It could be they want to scare people. It could be all of the above. It could be none of the above. But that's what I personally believe is happening right now, is that, you know, they attack it by selling, and, you know, if they have some links to the news, cool. Let's put FUD all over Yahoo Finance. Let's put FUD all over all these different things. And let's not even talk about the fundamentals like I'm talking about now, stock to flow, moving indicators, that sort of thing. Things that show how healthy the coin is. I haven't even gotten into things like hash power or adoption, or whether coins are going in or out of exchanges, that sort of thing. For this sell, I believe that was the only time coins had ever gone towards the exchanges in a long time. For the most part, they're going out. Yeah, it's just insane. I would caution to not be that person who sells their Bitcoin after they just got it, knowing that, again, we're barely even halfway through this bull run. Looking at stock to flow. And just by holding a little bit, you could double your money. It's crazy. Now, as far as Bitcoin's target, there's my personal targets, but I think that 60K, 65K would be a reasonable target for the next all-time high. I don't think we're going to have a massive breakaway. I think we'll have thousands at a time that we go up, just because of the way the market tends to jump through resistances. And once we do, we kind of settle, then we jump, then we settle, then we jump. I think that's healthy. And as far as us being ahead of stock to flow, this is the first cycle we've had where we've had companies buying more Bitcoin than are being produced, as far as we know. So, like, us being a little ahead of the curve kind of makes sense in that way. Now, where will this all end? That's where it gets intense, right? I hope that answered your question, Melvin. Yeah, that's what I believe. This is just me. I don't have the best TA. I'm not a financial advisor. You know, I don't have a crystal ball, but this is what I personally believe about the market right now. I think we're just going to jump through resistances, and I think that we're going to hit a big resistance at 80K to 100K. Like, that's going to be massive resistance. Like all the tools that could be used to keep Bitcoin below 100K are going to be used around 80K to 90K. It's going to be nuts. Like, get ready, buckle up. But yeah, other than that, I mean, again, the price is already back above 50K again after this massive FUD, right? Because the companies are just buying their positions back, and they're probably buying more than they had before. So to me, it's just a scare tactic. And the more normal people get used to these scare tactics, the less they work. And again, by buying Bitcoin, you're shorting all of these people. And by doing that also, when they take a short position like that, and by short position, I mean they're selling Bitcoin, right? They're selling Bitcoin and they're leveraging Bitcoin down. By buying Bitcoin, you're doing exactly what Wall Street Bets did to those companies. You're doing a short squeeze to them. It's extremely hard for them to do a long squeeze to you without hurting themselves in the process. So it's a very interesting thing. This is why I scream at the top of my lungs sometimes for people to get into the space, because if we all just put $5 into Bitcoin, it would screw over so many millionaires and billionaires. Not that they're evil or anything. I'm more referring to the people who have manipulated the market. I have no problem with people who've earned their money and make a decent living, by the way, just for the record. But yeah, people trying to manipulate the market by just being honest and buying a few fractions of the Bitcoin, like you're shorting, you're squeezing them. It's great. It's awesome. It's what I love about this space. It's resistance to manipulation for that reason. We have a ledger that has the entire supply of Bitcoin at any given moment that can be verified. It's really intense compared to, for example, gold, silver, diamonds, name the commodity, right? In the meantime, let's go ahead and start the giveaway, guys. Um, Thanks for hanging around for that explanation. That's just what I think about this week. Nothing to worry about. I'm ready to go a lot lower before I even really get scared. It's going to be more annoying than scary. All right. So we're going to go to Marbles on Stream for our giveaway today. Again, whoever wins, we're going to have 2 winners today. We'll win $10 worth of Bitcoin that I'll send to them, excluding sans fees, which are getting a little higher these days just because. But here we go. Marbles on Stream here. This map is called Devil's Chaos 2. I'm very excited about that. Again, remember to enter this, all you have to do is leave a comment with your Bitcoin address. Comment with your Bitcoin address. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps people see this. And let's get going here. All right, all right. All right, so far we have Jake Cunningham and Alexia Stan. John A. By the way, if we get a dual name, I'm going to just count one of the names. So we have 2 John A's right now. That shouldn't be a thing. That's what happens when you extrapolate data from a document thinking, oh no, Alexia's gone. We have Depeche Tawari and John A. currently in 1st and 2nd right now. Again, would be the winners of the competition should they reach the end. Oh, Mart Bassa is seems to be out right now. Let's try that again. Brent Slater, I believe, is out. Man, this map is taking no quarter. Maybe one of the John A's will go out. Then we'll, you know. I can't affect it, so it's not that big a deal. So it looks like we have John A. and Luke Mayer at the moment, currently leading the way here. As we hit kind of the cross-section of this map here. Okay, we have the split section here. We have John A going on either side right now. Pretty silly right now. Will anybody make it through to the middle? That would be interesting to see right now. I'm not sure if that'll happen. I can't believe both John A marbles are still in 1st place. Oh, to win, all you have to do is comment with your Bitcoin address. And if you do that, then you're entered into what you're looking at right now with the Marbles on Stream. And the top 2 get a $10 Bitcoin prize. And that's how I tend to do it. Yeah, I like this because I wanted to have a little bit more fun with it. John A. Wow, it looks like they're on a tear right now. Jake Cunningham now going into 1st. A lot of marbles getting stuck in the helix right there. Let's go down here. It looks like it's going to be John A. and Jake Cunningham, unless something changes here. Ruben Bradley going to be knocked out right now. More marbles stuck there up top. Now we have this sorter. Okay, made it through one side. And being carried back up for the moment. Jake Cunningham. Dominic Strong having a shot here, but it looks like they're going to be just a little bit too far behind to take advantage of being swept up. John A, officially one of the winners here right now, followed by Jake Cunningham. Sorry, Gecko, it's too late for today, but once this video goes up, put your address and comment next time, and for my next video you'll be entered. Okay, that's how it works. Because what I do is I take everybody's comments and I extrapolate them onto a document and put them into Marbles on Stream. I thought about streaming on Twitch as well, because then on Twitch you could, you know, in real time apply, but we'll see. All right, so we're just waiting for Anya Austin. Our winners are going to be John A and Jake Cunningham, though. Congratulations, guys. I will get your Bitcoin to you within the next hour or so. If there are any issues with your address, I will put it as a pinned post on the video. Yeah, that's basically all she wrote. Thank you guys for joining me today. It's been an interesting week, but again, there's just a lot to look forward to. Really excited about the space. For a lot of my altcoins are running. Bitcoin's been running. We're still a very strong net positive, so we'll see. The future, I think, is bright, and that's all we could ask for. So guys, be safe out there. Don't get the that special disease that we know is out, and I hope that you have a wonderful month.